Hi, my name is George Felix. I am a fifth-year teacher. I've been teaching at McClay Middle School in Pacoima for the whole, my entire teaching career. Um, I got hired after I got my bachelor's degree. Um, well, I went through about a year of trying to get my preliminary with CTC because of some confusion in their system. But as soon as I got cleared from them to get my I was able to get a teaching credential, an emergency teaching credential, they used to call it, but it was an intern credential. And I was able to teach while going to school at CSUN to get my preliminary credential. I did that for 2.5 years. I should have done it in two, but it wasn't easy. Taking 3 classes while teaching full time and doing all that, so I stuck with two, and so it carried on into an extra semester. But either way, it was still a great learning experience to go through that program. I don't know if any of you have ever done it, but that to me was the best way to go. You're not doing the student teaching or anything like that. You're just in the classroom, and you're rocky at first, but eventually you get the hang of it, and you start to understand the way the job goes a little bit more. And I think it makes you a really effective teacher after a while. But if anytime I run into somebody that asks me which approach to take, I always tell them try to be an intern because it's the best way to learn on the job. And you're always being observed by your mentor, your support provider at CSUN, and your mentor at the school, and then the formal observation. So because you have all these observations all the time, by the time you get to a certain point, you kind of get used to it. And now when those yearly reviews come, I'm not really even worried about it. It's kind of just something else that I have to do. But I have a caseload of 12 kids. I teach special day class, history and science. So I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade on a block schedule. On 8 days, I have the 6th grade for science. Then I have the 8th grade for science, and then I have the 7th grade for science. And then on B days, I have 8th grade for history, for one period and so on. But it's one class per period. We don't mix classes there, so that's a benefit to me because it's hard to teach when you mix the classes up. But I do teach an SDC class in the SLD program, and I do have a caseload of about 12 kids in my caseload. But we, as a group, as a SDC group, we all work on each other's IEPs. So we have actually 46 that we do roughly every year because the math teacher does that math PLPs and goals, and ELA does hers, and then I do generally the pre-vocation, and I support everyone, but I do the pre-vocation and I do the behavior supports if needed. So once the IEP gets built and the student is on my caseload, I run the IEP and so on. But it's a great job to have, and as I said in my bio, I did construction all my life, and even though this is a really difficult job, it's way more enjoyable than any construction job that I've ever done. And yes, I do own an electrical company, but that thing is a whole nother animal. But I can't wait till the day that I don't have to do that anymore, and I could just teach full time. So anyway, this video is running long, and I'll see you guys throughout the year.